Hey everybody, welcome to episode 2 of our channel Mixed Emotions.
This is really episode 15 because the computer's not working right and it's
Yeah,
starting to
we're
irritate me.
having technical difficulties.
We'll figure it out.
So, this week we're going to be talking about defunding the police and sexism and misogyny, which is some local political issues that have happened over this week in Norman. Okay, so in Norman, over the last month, I guess, there has been a group called Unite Norman, and they set out basically to recall our mayor and four or five of our city council members, all of which are female except for one. So, um, their mission statement is Unite Norman is a bipartisan group seeking to return Norman to the people. I always stop there because there's two groups going on right now. The group that formed in response to Unite Norman is called We Are Norman. And I'm a member of that. We've went out to their tents, kind of helped protest a little bit,
Right.
stuff like that. But that first sentence there saying that Unite Norman is a bipartisan group, that part's not true.
That's not true.
A lot of Unite Norman members are of the richer class.
Right wing
Right.
Republican
Yes.
sect.
Yes, they're not bipartisan. That I guess they got a few Democrats to sign their recall, and now they're bipartisan. But that's what they're going with. And then that second part where it's saying we want to return Norman to the people. These are elected officials that they're trying to recall because they didn't get their way. So,
Well, what was their way though?
they
Didn't they want some kind of business or trying to start up a new business
there's
complex or
a
something like that?
land development
Right,
in
okay.
Norman off of like 24th Street that they were trying to make bigger and better. It's already a shopping center, but I guess one of the local
Developers. I guess
developers
he's not rich enough.
wanted to use that land for a
Shopping malls,
entertainment
entertainment.
area pavilion thing, which there's one there, but bigger, better, whatever.
Why not?
So the second part is while identifying and encouraging qualified candidates to run for office who will put Norman first, we believe the current city council, through their words and actions, have abused their positions by defunding our police, discouraging job creation, abusing public trust. We will not stand by idly and allow our elected officials to legislate their own radical agendas. So, we're going to talk about the first bullet point of defunding our police in depth. The second bullet point was discouraging job creation. And that's what we kind of touched on a second ago was they were mad they didn't get that arena pavilion
Yes.
whatever. And then that third bullet point of abusing public trust. What started this group is they got mad that the mayor of Norman and the city council voted and passed the first mask mandate in the state of Oklahoma. So a lot of people got mad and said that their rights were being
My rights.
their rights were being stepped on, basically. And they also said that during this meeting that they shouldn't even have been talking about the police budget or any part of the budget.
A simple way to fix that argument is it's also your right not to wear a seatbelt. But if you get pulled over and the police decide to give you a ticket for it, you're gonna pay it.
Right.
So I guess that's your rights too, huh?
Right.
All right.
Okay. this part of it, we're going to be talking about debunking the defunding of the police statement. That was the first bullet point of Unite Norman's mission statement. So on August 5th of 2020, the police chief and the head financial person in Norman held a live news conference to basically go over some misinformation that was being distributed. A lot of us received flyers in our mailboxes from Unite Norman stating that you call the police, they might not answer, you might get an answering machine, they might not respond to your calls, and they won't show up.
Which was absolutely not true.
Right. So the police chief, Kevin Foster, got on there, said that our call times have not been affected. If they ever are affected in the future, he can pull officers from other their community outreach department and make them patrol officers. And they also have said that in March of 2021 that they are going to have another police academy. So they are hiring.
So if that's the case, if they somehow got defunded, so how are they having another academy and doing more hiring if they can't?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. So at this news conference, the police chief stated the budget this year compared to the budget that was last year, we show an increase, and that is factual. So he admitted they were not defunded and they actually got an increase.
They didn't get as much as they wanted.
Right.
But a little bit of money got reallocated to certain sects of the law enforcement, and I believe it's mental health.
Mental health services.
Okay.
So when they do get a call and someone says, "Hey, this person isn't necessarily dangerous. They're just having an episode, a mental health episode, a substance abuse episode," that the cops don't necessarily have to show up with their guns and possibly escalate the situation. They can send in a mental health professional.
Can you see that?
Barely.
Okay.
So, and then that chart on the graph, on the very far part of the screen is just showing from 2018 all the way up to 2021, the budget has steadily increased for the police department. So again, they were not defunded. They did have some money reallocated, and instead of getting like a 30% increase in their budget, they got a 3% increase. And this...
Now I can see if you used to getting, 10, 20, 30%,
right,
of an increase and a 3% increase. It's no different from when you work at a job and they give you your raise and it says 2%.
Right.
Like, what the hell is 2%? I'll keep the 2%. Every working person in the world that gets a check has said that. Now, the police might feel the same.
I mean, if I got a 2% increase every year, I'd be happy because we don't usually get raises.
Right. Whatever. True. But every working person that's gotten a raise and they go percentage-wise instead of just giving you $1 or $2, whatever, says, "Oh, man, you could have just kept that, man." I mean, because that's what the police are saying right now. Like, you could have kept your little 3% increase. We're just going to stay the same.
I mean, I guess where I'm coming from on this is education actually does get defunded a lot. They actually do get money taken away.
Stop telling people the truth.
The teachers have to figure it out.
Did you? Don't.
No matter what.
Did you just say the teachers have to figure it out?
The teachers have to come out of their own pockets. They have to figure it out.
A teacher only makes what? Starts off 37,000, 38,000?
They don't make enough. Teachers don't make enough.
You know how bad my kid is?
They don't make enough. And so, I don't know. This is a hard topic for me. Anyway, the middle chart kind of goes over some myths that are being spread and then the facts of what actually happened. So, part of Unite Norman's claim was that positions were cut and that salary and benefits were cut from fiscal year 2020 going into fiscal year 2021. The truth of that is the average full-time salary and benefits for employees in fiscal year 2020 was around 94,000, and in 2021 it will be a little over 99,000. So that is an increase in their salary and benefits, not a decrease.
All three of these, if you can't see these graphs and understand what's going on here, you probably need to stop paying attention to politics altogether. Because this is what's coming from our city council and the numbers that are giving out. These are factual numbers. They're not just made up. They're not Trump numbers. I'm sorry if you're a Trump fan. I'm not trying to offend you, but
no, the source is actually listed there
right.
on the bottom. That's actually from the Norman Police Department budget.
So when you pull this video up, you'll be up. All this stuff. We'll always do videos. She does a great job with all the research. We'll never try to purposely put anything that's false.
We won't put misinformation out if we can help it.
And if it is misinformation, we'll look it up and fix it and figure it out.
We'll definitely apologize and correct it. So that second part that Unite Norman was saying that they didn't get, but they did, or misinformation, was there was 9 vacant police positions that when the money was reallocated, those positions were done away with. Those positions, again, were vacant, so nobody technically lost their job.
Right.
They did that so no one would lose their job.
Absolutely.
So the truth, what Unite Norman was saying is they needed those positions. Those positions were set to be filled. And then the truth of that is the 9 positions were also in the budget for fiscal year 2020, and they went unfilled for that whole year.
That means nobody applied for the job.
Or they
couldn't find anybody qualified for the job.
They couldn't fill the positions, so they got rid of those positions.
They didn't have me come in there. So they wanted me to, yeah.
They wanted Nick
probably
to be a
would
police
love
officer.
to be a police officer. So what's the moral of the story of these 3 graphs?
These 3 graphs are basically saying, hey, if you signed the recall petition that Unite Norman was sending around saying that the police were defunded, that your city council and your mayor doesn't support the police, this shows that that is not factual information, and these
Once
graphs
again,
prove it.
They are lying.
The police chief said it wasn't true. I feel like I'm beating it into people that it's just not true. So if you signed that based on that information that you think you were going to have police, that they were completely defunded, that they didn't, they actually received an increase, so they didn't get defunded at all.
So if you still agree with signing that petition after all this is said and done, after the proof is in the pudding, it's shown to you, you want to believe what is said to you by the other side, you might as well stay over there.
Which they will. But I'm also going to post a link at in the description of this video on YouTube and also on our Facebook group, so you can fill out that Google Doc that We Are Norman is sending around. If you believed that you were given false information and you signed the petition, you can fill out that Google Doc and either send it back to me or send it to the We Are Norman group, and they will take your name off of that list. The city clerk has 30 days to review that list and review the signatures to make sure that they're legitimate. Okay, so now we're going to switch gears and talk about the sexism / misogyny that we mentioned at the very beginning slide, and that little sprinkle of racism. So a former OU professor and a supporter of Unite Norman went out on Facebook and posted in the Norman Ward 9 group some interesting stuff. It made the local news.
Hold on to your hats.
Get ready, buckle up.
And please don't blow up Just listen to the guy, and then we'll hand him his hat after this is all
Right,
over.
right, right. So, the guy's name is John Scamhorn. Scamhorn. I don't know how he pronounces it. Anyway, he said, "This post is not going to please many, but a vigorous discussion of forward-thinking ideas reflects a healthy intellectual environment. Exactly a century ago, the 19th Amendment to the Constitution passed, where men decided to give women the vote. Mistakes can be corrected. The amendment prohibiting alcohol was repealed. There has been a growing movement to repeal the 19th Amendment. 100 years is enough time for a social experiment. The disaster that is the current Norman city government is an example of the consequences of enfranchisement of women, whether the rise of feminazi culture is an inevitable consequence of the gallant gesture of men to enfranchise the weaker sex is a topic worthy of discussion.
Hmm.
Patriarchies have been responsible for essentially all major intellectual and technological advances of civilization.
He's trying to say white people,
Not true.
white men.
White men, yes. The Industrial Revolution, the Enlightenment, Roman Empire, British Empire, founding and flourishment of the United States, and innumerable other
Can I stop you for a
examples.
second, please? I said not to do this, but the British Empire and the Roman Empire, neither one of those exist anymore.
Well,
They
the Roman Empire fell. The British Empire is still there.
it's there, but it's not. It's not a ruler of the world.
Right, right. They're not the world superpower.
Right. So I'm trying to figure out how this guy is sitting there saying, or he's touting these countries that rose and fell, and now he's touting them. They're losers now. They're not like the best countries in the world. We're supposed to be the best country in the world. China's supposed to be the best country in the world. That doesn't make any sense. What he's saying, absolutely nothing he's saying
Right,
makes sense.
Right. It's all false.
Neither one of those are empires anymore.
It's all false. So, founding and flourishment of the United States and innumerable other examples of periods run by patriarchies. Why mess with a proven successful system? I believe the best way to get the U.S. back on track to the glorious patriarchy of the Founding Fathers is to repeal the 19th Amendment and let each sex specialize in what they do well. Men can again do tasks like governing and ruling that God designed them for, and women could concentrate on childbearing and rearing. Here comes the sprinkle of racism that we were talking about. If the Black Lives Matter thugs had been raised properly, they wouldn't be looting and vandalizing. I don't know where that came from. I don't know how it relates to anything he was saying. Whatever. I have my own version of a shining city on a hill who shares this vision. Don't let the bullies of political correctness intimidate you. Hashtag repeal the 19th. Then he posted that little meme that's off to the side and said, women have blindly followed the feminist mantra and now find themselves lonely and confused. It's time to welcome back to the patriarchy.
No, he's lonely and confused. Is this man married?
No.
Well, I wonder why.
No.
I mean, come on.
Right. So, he got in trouble for this in the news, in local news, and also OU, I believe, stripped him of all of his merits for while he was a professor there. So obviously, that Scamhorn guy, not a great guy. So Unite Norman wanted to come out and basically say, we don't know this dude, we don't have anything to do with him. I posted that initial post that he put out on the Ward 9 group on my personal Facebook page, and one of my Facebook friends got on there and was like, hey, Unite Norman has basically denounced this dude. So I was like, cool, send me that information so I can put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris Drag, which is one of the founders of Unite Norman, got out there and said, I do not know who this person is, but this post is stupid and we condemn it in the strongest terms. Any attempt to disenfranchise women is moronic. As a matter of fact, 49% of the people that signed this petition were women. We couldn't have reached our goals without them. Thank you to all the women volunteers and supporters, the founders of Unite Norman. So I basically just wanted to put both sides out there.
But did you though? I mean,
I like to give everybody the factual information. So
okay.
I'm gonna put it out there.
Yeah.
If they say they don't know this,
they don't know this guy.
Then they don't know him, right?
But don't we know someone else that does that every time his friends get in trouble? Well, I don't really know them.
Or he'll admit that he knows them. He just pardons them.
Well, but at first he goes, I don't know them.
Until the picture starts
I don't know them very well. Oh, that's a picture of me. Well, they might have bumped into me at Mar-a-Lago, and yeah,
right.
But I really don't know them. But I wish them well.
Right. We'll see if this is similar. So I wanted to also, like I said before, I want to get both sides of the story. So
you wrong.
I want to get both sides of the story. So whether Chris Drag personally knows John Scamhorn or not, John Scamhorn is a Unite Norman member.
As you can see.
I know this because you cannot see Unite Norman's post because they have to approve you in their group. And if you are part of the We Are Norman group on Facebook, they will not approve you. So that's how I know that John Scamhorn is at least in their group because he can share their post. So on August 14th, he stated the mayor and 2 city council members down.
6 days ago. 6 days ago.
I also want to correct that 2 city council members down. One of those city council members retired because she moved to a different ward other than the one she was representing. So she resigned. They didn't get enough signatures for her. She resigned. The mayor, they claimed they got enough signatures for her. And then one of the other city council women, they claim that they got enough signatures for her. Again, the city clerk has 30 days to validate those signatures. The feminazis are an endangered species in Norman. We are draining the swamp.
This guy, you think this guy hates his mom or something? Why is he
bad against women? I think he hates women. I don't know if he hates his mom.
He missed a few hugs growing up.
He missed something. But anyway, then he shared the Unite Norman post, also by Chris Drag, that says, today we turned in over 20,500 signatures to recall Mayor Clark. Unite Norman thanks all the signers. United we stood, united we signed, united we recalled. They have not recalled them yet. There is going to be an election if they got enough signatures, if the signatures are verified. There's going to be another election.
We will keep you posted because we got to get back out there and vote.
Right. But what bothers me about this election is it's literally a month before the actual election that was already on the schedule for these seats to come up.
But wait, baby, what do Republicans do best? They steal stuff.
Well, it's unnecessary money
and cheap.
It's unnecessary money. It's tens of thousands. I think it's like $30,000 to hold this special election.
Cheap and steal.
For 2 people, for the mayor and 1 city council person.
That's a waste of funds.
It's a waste of funds.
How many people you can feed with $30,000?
That, and they could have, instead of using it on that, they could have gave it to the police department since they got defunded. You know.
Stop. You stop.
I'm just saying. So I would just want to know like your opinion on this. Have has any other city besides Norman had to deal with this craziness? And I also wanted to again say, hey, if you signed that recall petition under false pretenses,
It's not too late.
given misinformation, I will again post that Google Doc out there where you can get your name taken off that petition. You got anything else?
No, not at this moment. I'm tired. Worked all day.
All right. Well, thank you
Wait,
guys.
wait. Get a black friend.
Get a black friend. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.